Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be building an apartment inspired by the Lunar New Year, which starts today, and this is going to be the year of the dragon. So I wanted to use lots of Asian objects because many countries in Asia celebrate Lunar New Year. I probably leaned more towards Chinese because I have Chinese ancestry, so I wanted to incorporate that because my family sometimes have Chinese objects, though full disclosure, I have never been to China, so I am not going to pretend that this is going to be accurate. Though I did try to make it at least look like it made sense. So for the style I went with lots of stuff from For Rent and TD Living because those packs have lots of Asian inspired objects. And during the Lunar New Year celebrations, people decorate with lots of red and gold. So I did lean into the red and yellow color scheme. Also, we got some Lunar New Year decorations in, I think it was 2019. And since it was the year of the pig, we got a pig statue. So I did include that here, even if this is not the year of the pig. But there weren't any dragons, so I wasn't able to include that. But here in the kitchen, I had lots of red appliances for a while, and they don't stay red, only the smaller appliances like the rice cooker and the kettle. But at the moment, it is looking very red. The reason why I changed that was because I used a wallpaper that was red, but it was not a bright red, so it looked very strange. But for now, we're going to leave the kitchen be, and we're going to come back to the kitchen, but I wanted to first have some idea for the floor plan, since I wanted there to be 2 bedrooms as well as a bathroom, which ends up being all the way towards the corner, which I don't think is ideal, but since this is a needs TLC apartment, there's leaky pipes and I wanted to have them in their own separate room. But here in front of the kitchen we're going to have a dining room, and next to it we're going to have a living room. I did section off an entryway so that you can leave your shoes next to the door when you first come in. And next to it I created this really small, I suppose it's a closet. And I just did that so that the electricity box would be hidden from view. And later I did add the fire alarm as well as a broom hanging from the wall, so that it looked like it was more of a useful space. But here in the entryway we're going to be adding the coat rack as well as a ton of shoes. And I now realized I should have added some umbrellas, but I might do that close to the temperature controls, but I might remember to do that before I upload this to the gallery. And if I don't, I suppose it's not such a big deal because I do know that the temperature controls are the only item that I used from Seasons, so if you don't have Seasons you really don't need them to download this apartment and for it to look mostly the same. And speaking of which, if you are interested in downloading this, it's going to be in the gallery under my ID, which is Veranjo, and I will also have that link down in the description. I should mention that when I prepared this apartment so that I could upload it to the gallery, I had to separate the bedrooms and the balcony from the main living areas as well as the entryway and the bathroom, because I was having that thing when if you delete one of the walls it might delete some of the other stuff or some of the furniture. So I decided to do that, but I will make sure that they have similar names and that they are both linked down in the description. But here in the living room we have added these couches and chairs from For Rent, and most of the furniture is from that pack in this area, though the wallpaper and the wall decorations are from Decor to the Max, which actually has lots of Chinese inspired items such as this frog, and I decided to use a side table from that as well. And I also decided to size down this hutch, I suppose, from For Rent, which has a ton of little small items. It's supposed to be used inside bars, but I really liked how there was a teapot and a tiger, since according to the Chinese zodiac I am tiger. I decided to include that. But here in this build we're going to be jumping around a little bit from room to room or corner to corner, and I do apologize for that, but I kept remembering things that I wanted to add to certain areas of the build, especially since I was coming across stuff from the different packs that I wanted to use. But one of the things that I really liked including was these tassels from For Rent, which I placed behind the doorknobs, because in my bedroom I actually have a tassel with some tigers that my grand gave me. She bought them in Mexico City's Chinatown, and I wanted to have something in this apartment that reminded me of my own spaces. But here in the kitchen we are adding lots of cabinets because I wanted to separate the wallpapers that I was using behind the kitchen and in the other areas, and the seam just looked terrible, so this is the solution that I came up with, and I think it works quite well. The corner cabinet isn't looking great at the moment, but if I remember to do that, I am going to be using that as a ledge for some vases or some other decorations, in the hopes that it will look a bit more intentional. But here in the bathroom, I am using very similar tile and wallpaper to the ones that I used in the kitchen, though I did go full blue and white in here. I am mostly using stuff from For Rent, but I am also using a rug from City Living, and later I will add some laundry day stuff to this place. I just found a rug from City Living that was circular and a perfect size to be used underneath the dining room table, which was actually from that update that included the Lunar New Year items. But we're going to be finishing off the bathroom, just adding some more stuff to make laundry functional and some decorations. And I also decided to have the toddler potty that comes with For Rent, because I haven't used that object, and that was the moment when I decided that there was going to be a toddler in this house. So next we're going to be working on their bedroom, and here I wanted to use the toddler bed and some of the dressers from For Rent, as well as some panda stuff that I found quite a lot of actually. A lot of it is from the base game, but there's also this bookshelf that comes with my first pet. So I thought that was perfect, and while I decided that this child really loves pandas, I also wanted to include other animals to make this look like it had more decorations and like it made sense, because there wasn't enough panda stuff to furnish the whole bedroom, but I was pretty happy with how that turned out. And I also decided to change out all of the windows and the door for these ones from For Rent, because the real reason for me to have the other windows was that the apartment that I made next to this one used those windows, and they match this building super well because they have some brick that is pretty similar to the one that the building has, but I decided that I didn't care about making all of these windows match each other, since it wouldn't match the windows that are on the other floors anyway. So that's what I decided to do, and then I just added some more pandas in this space using stuff from that infant update that we got recently. And we're going to be finishing this, or maybe not finishing, but adding some more stuff to this bedroom, using lots of red accents in here, and some stuff is from my first pet, which was free for a while, so I thought that was really cool. And I know that pack isn't very popular, but since it was free for a while, I figure some people have it now, and some of the decorations are cool, so that's why I decided to include them. Now we just added some more decorations and details to the entryway, and all of those are from For Rent. I wanted to have this no shoes allowed sign, as well as some baskets and a mirror, so I did that. And now we're going to be working on the master bedroom, in which I am using this beautiful new bed from For Rent. I also added some side tables, but I also decided to use one of the dining tables from that same pack as a small side table in the living room, and I decided that I wanted a basket of fruit on that, which might be a bit strange since it's so far away from the kitchen, but I thought maybe this family likes to have fruit while they are watching TV or something. Now we're going to be adding some curtains to this space. I originally had some blinds in the child's room, but now I decided to have some of the curtains from For Rent, which I really like that some of them are modular and they come in different lengths, though some of the swatches are hard to use, but I ended up going with the one with the lotus flowers because it had some tiny green accents, which I felt went well with the bed and some of the other details that I have in this room. But for the master bedroom, I did actually use the same rug that I have in the living room, though I used the red version of it. I just really love that rug and I don't get to use it a lot, so I was happy to use it here. And I also wanted to have a desk in this area, and I decided to have this chair that is also from for rent, which I then realized would go together well with the chairs that I have in the dining room. So I decided to have both kinds of chairs in that space. But I also decided that one wardrobe wasn't enough for two people in this room, so I decided to add another one, and I didn't have as much space for a side table, so what I did was that I sized down a dining table from for rent, which is something that I also did in the living room, so I think I did use all of the tables from that pack in this 2-bedroom apartment, which sounds a bit ridiculous if you think about it. But I really liked how that looked, so I was happy to do that. And another thing that I liked to include was the decals from the Lunar New Year update, and that update actually came with a very cool citrus tree, which I love using because of its size and because it has some swatches that are more neutral, but some have these really beautiful pots. So yeah, I am a big fan of that tree because it is actually quite versatile, but the thematic swatches are really beautiful as well. So it's pretty cool that we have options with that object. And I had originally created a plant corner inside of the apartment, which is something that I find myself doing a lot. But then I remembered that we have a balcony, so I moved all of those plants into this space. And I also decided to have a grill, a small table and chairs, a bicycle, and some marbles because I thought that was fun, and I don't think I have included that in any of my builds so far, so I was glad to have that here. And since there was a child in this apartment, I thought it was the perfect space for that, because sadly adults cannot, only children can play with marbles in The Sims. One of the plants that I decided to incorporate is this citrus plant that comes with the Blooming Rooms kit, because I know that tangerines and other citrus fruit are very important for these holidays, so I wanted to have that as well. And some planters because I've had the bonsai tree and I thought it would be cool for your Sims to have those skill building items. Actually, in the living room, I added some stuff to this apartment after I stopped recording, because sometimes I think better when I am not thinking about how I'm going to have to edit the video later. But I added a record player as well as some more decorations, which I am not sure what they are at this moment, but you will see them in the screenshots. But that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in regular speed builds. Happy Lunar New Year, and I hope to see you next time.